One of the best ways to improve your English, one of the best ways to improve your fluency in speaking is to make really good questions. Making questions in English is very, very useful because it helps you speak a lot. It makes a conversation longer. And the better your questions are, the more you sound like a native speaker. All right, let's go. In today's lesson, we are going to focus only on who questions. The who question is a very, very tricky question because we have two types of questions. Now, today we're going to cover both types and we're going to focus on one. If you can master these who questions, your English will go to the next level. Even though this is a tricky grammar point, I will show you a very easy way to understand and make these questions. So now let's look at some example who questions. So first, who did you eat dinner with? Who did you eat dinner with? In this question, I want to know the person who you ate with. So you ate dinner, and I want to know who. Who was the person you ate with? Now let's look at a different question. Who cooked dinner? Who cooked dinner? In this question, I want to know the person who cooked the dinner. I don't want to know who you ate with. I want to know the cook. Did you cook? Did another person cook? I want to know who cooked. Okay, now let me explain this to you in an even more simple way. All right, so let's look at the screen and let's look at this sentence. It says, somebody went to the park. Okay, so somebody went to the park. I want to know the somebody. I want to know the somebody. Somebody went to the park, so I want to know that somebody. So in this question, I will make a who question, and who is asking for the subject of the sentence. So who went to the park? So somebody went to the park, and I don't know. I don't know that somebody. So my question is, who went to the park? Now, if you look at the other type of question, let's look at this sentence. Sarah went to the park with somebody. So I know Sarah went to the park, but I don't know who the somebody is who she went with. So Sarah went to the park, I understand, but with who? With who? So here, who is going to be the object of the question? So my question would be, who did Sarah go to the park with? Who did Sarah go to the park with? Let's look at one more example so I know that you understand. So, Joe called somebody. Joe called somebody. So I want to know the somebody. Who is that somebody? So in this situation, who is the object? It is coming at the end. Who is the object? So my question would be, who did Joe call? Who did Joe call? If who is the object of the question, then my question pattern will always be who plus do, does, or did plus my subject plus the main verb. Now, if we look at another sentence, somebody called Joe. Somebody called Joe. So I want to know who is that somebody. In this one, Who is the subject of the question? It's at the very beginning. So my question would be, who called Joe? Who called Joe? So if who is the subject of a question, then your question pattern will be who plus the main verb plus the subject. Okay, so in this lesson, we've got two types of who questions. One is as the object. So who plus do, does, did, plus the subject and plus the verb. Or who as the subject, which will be who plus the main verb plus the subject. Now, if you don't understand this, that's okay. You can just rewatch the explanation. Or you can ask me any question down below. I will definitely answer all of your questions. Also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, make sure you subscribe to this channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Okay, so the best way to see if you understand this is in the next part of this video, which is the active part of this lesson. This is a chance for you to make who questions. You must make a question either as the object or the subject. I'm going to give you some information on the screen. Look at that information and then make a question. Make sure that you speak out loud at home because it will help your speaking and your fluency. Now, since this is a very tricky and a little bit difficult question, don't forget, you can always pause the video and give yourself some time to think. Okay, so number one, please look at the information. The information says, somebody is my best friend. Somebody is my best friend. So I want to know the somebody. Please make a who question. Okay, in this situation, my answer is, who is your best friend? Who is your best friend? Here, who is the subject of the question? Number two, I went to the party with somebody. I went to the party with somebody. So I want to know the somebody. I want to know who that somebody is. What is your who question? All right, my question is, who did you go to the party with? Who did you go to the party with? Now here, who is the object of the question? Also, don't forget to put the word with at the very end. It's very important. Who did you go to the party with? Number three, somebody made this delicious cake. Somebody made this delicious cake. I want to know the somebody. What is your who question? All right, my answer here is, who made this delicious cake? Who made this delicious cake? All right, number four, please look at the sentence. She met somebody for lunch yesterday. She met somebody for lunch yesterday. I want to know the somebody. So, what is your who question? My answer, my question is, who did she meet for lunch yesterday? Who did she meet for lunch yesterday? And number five, somebody is his favorite superhero. Somebody is his favorite superhero. I want to know the somebody. I want to know the favorite superhero. What is your who question? My question is, who is his favorite superhero? Who is his favorite superhero? Okay, so how did you do? Were you able to make 5 correct who questions? If you had any problems, if you had a different question, that's okay. Just leave it down below and I will check them. Also, if it's still a little bit difficult, that's also okay. Just rewatch the explanation part and try again. And again, like I said, you can always ask any questions down below. And if you think this lesson was helpful, if you understand now how to make who questions and you think your fluency will become better, that's great. And do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. I'm always posting videos, so make sure you check out all those as well. So until that time, see ya. Thank you very much for watching today's lesson. Today we practiced the tricky who question. If you think this lesson was useful for your English, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell. Until the next lesson, see ya.